Hi, Sandy Scott here. I was just going to give you a little overview of utilizing Reading A to Z in your classroom. I know this can cost, but they always offer a free trial, so you always have that option. And there's a lot you can get in 30 days of a free trial. So I did choose to use this even though overall it's not free, but for 30 days it can be free, and the resources that you can gain in that amount of time is well worth mentioning. I use Reading A to Z daily in my reading groups, mostly because the site is easy to use, it's very well organized, and you can use it to easily differentiate amongst every single learner in your classroom. I already have a login, and so I'm going to go ahead and log in that way. You can, if you did not, you would have to create your own, and again, you'd have that 30-day window to kind of do a free trial. The resources that I usually use, you'd come over here into the resources tab, and typically I use, I will go down to the books, and I will usually do leveled books, just because we use the Fountas and Pinnell leveled system, and this is pretty equivalently aligned. And so right now I have several readers who are working on the level L. So I'll click on the level L so I can scroll down underneath, and this shows all the different books that are available for me to print on the level L. One reason I do use this versus other books is because I can do it with guided reading groups, and I can also make it cross-curricular. So whatever topic we are covering in our thematic unit that week, I can also make applicable to their guided reading. So for instance, right now we are talking about community helpers, so I would probably choose Bigger Than a Monster Truck, just because this would probably talk about some form of jobs. If you kind of look at the description here, it gives information about the different equipment that is used. So students would be able to make a connection with that, and construction workers that we would be talking about that day. You can choose to create folders for yourself if you wanted to do a specific folder for each theme, if that worked best for you. You can also search for information based on if you want to focus on fiction or nonfiction, or you can even come up here and go through and look for specific skills. If you were looking at key reading skills right here, you might want to look for maybe graphic organizers, different fluency passages, reader's theater, or you can focus more on alphabet books, phonological awareness, different phonic sounds. There's just a lot of different ways in which you can search for books to make it be exactly what you need. I go through and I have 4 different reading levels that I work with in my specific group, and so I usually like to use the level readers for that reason. After I click on the book, I can download it into a double-sided book, and then I am able to print this. The other thing I really like is I know that I will always have enough copies for each of the students at my guided reading table. I don't have to worry about not having enough books. These are books that they are able to use, and in some cases I do allow them to take home. Not all the time, but you're able just to print it straight from your computer. That way you have exactly what you need. The other thing I do like that comes along with it, not just being able to print it, it comes with the specific guided reading lesson. So I don't have to do the guesswork. They give me different objectives I can work towards for my guided reading group, identify different diagraphs that I might need to focus on, and then it also gives you all what to do every single day in your guided reading group with that specific book. It gives you all the resources you need, and so I'll probably print that. And I usually create like a master file of these books. I don't have to go in here every single day. After doing this for several years, you kind of develop your own library. But I like to come in here and pull different resources when I need to teach something different, or maybe I might need to find something just a little bit more engaging for my students. It's also projectable, so if there was a book I wanted to share with my class, we could read through it together on the screen. We could go through and talk about the different tables of contents, or maybe other locations throughout the book. There's just a lot that I feel I'm able to do with this website and utilize in my classroom. It definitely makes it more individualized for each student. A couple of the standards that this helps with is I shared it with my PLC group to use technology to kind of help increase student learning for ISTE T5A, and then I also used it, or I felt ISTE T3A was also covered, the transferring of current knowledge to new technologies. Though we have cabinets that are very full of books, this kind of just allows us to take those same concepts and reach out a little bit more to maybe reach a few more students, or to find something that might be a little bit more interesting. Or if I have a child who's struggling with motivation, I can go through here and I can see what book, what's something they're interested in. How can I find a book that I'm still able to teach to as well that is going to increase their engagement? I have one kid who loves frogs, and so this might be a very good selection for that specific child, and I have all the support that I need to go along with it as well. So I hope this is something you check out, even if it's just for the free trial, which you can go through and print as much as you need to for the free trial. I encourage you to do so. It's definitely worth looking at. It is a resource I really enjoy, and there's so much more available than what I just hit on. Just for a little glance, I use this for my running records as well. Whenever I do running records for each child, I can click on the level that I need to check it for. There is the assessment passage that I can click on. Then the quick check is comprehension questions to check comprehension for every single passage. And then it also gives you the running record with the totals and scoring your errors in the appropriate class, or the appropriate classifications of that. So lots of really good things you can do with this website. I encourage you to look at it. Thanks for listening.